Hello, thanks for joining me. Today I am making one of my favorite soups of all time. This is called my Sremska cabbage and barley soup. In this pot I have one large onion that I've diced and two celery stalks diced, half a green bell pepper diced, and one tomato diced, and one carrot that I've shredded. Most of these vegetables will just dissolve as the soup simmers away. So I'm just letting that simmer for a few minutes, and while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and show you the Sremska sausage. Now these are all cut up. This is what they look like after they've all been cut up. And I've saved a few slices. Like normally the sausage is like this, and it's about from the tip of my finger to my waist, to my wrist I mean. And then I cut them like pretty much into coins. And then with each coin, I cut them into, you can cut them into half, but I like to cut them into threes, like that. They look small, but they're bite-sized, and they'll plump up after it's been simmering for a while. They plump up to almost twice their size. Now this can, take forever to do, so sometimes I just, it's not a sausage, sometimes I'll just stack them up and cut them up like this. And when I do slice, just to be safe, because this knife is very sharp, because usually, you cut your thumb, so I usually just curl it in and have this side of the knife touching my finger there and cut it. Then I feel safe, because sometimes, the knife can just slip away from you and ouch. So I'll do it again with the rest of the sausage. So that's done. So I'll just put this here. Now this sausage, these vegetables have been sauteing for a while already, for about a few minutes. Now what I will do, just shove everything to the side. And I've got some tomato paste here. Now it's almost empty. I get a big jar of tomato paste, and what I don't use, I'll put a plastic wrap and elastic around and put it in the freezer, and it'll last you forever. So this is about 2 tablespoons that I'm adding to the cleared out side. And that's just going to let it toast for a little bit, for about, 30 seconds or so. And this is empty now. Normally, if this still had submitted, I would put it back in the freezer. So, as you can see, it's all, that tomato paste will start to cook down, or whatever it does. So here, now I've got the Sremska sausage. Oh, first, I'm going to add, so that's a few seconds have gone by, I'm going to add this vegetable bouillon cube, and with my fingers I'll just snip it up a bit. Then I have over here, I've got some dried minced onions. If you don't have this, you can just use maybe a teaspoon of onion powder. And here I've got dried garlic flakes. So you can just use fresh garlic, but I like dried garlic flakes, especially when simmering for a while. It does release its flavor, and less work, the better. So I'll just give that another stir again, and add the Sremska sausage, stir that around. Then I'll add 8 cups of water. Now I'm not going to measure it, because I already know my pot holds almost to the rim, about 8 cups. Now there's a lot of stuff there, so with warm water, I'm just going to start adding the water in this. Get all the flavor of that tomato paste going in there. I'll just throw that in. And then, that's simmering away. Then I will take my trusty pitcher, my soup pitcher, and fill her up. And throw that in. And there. It's almost nice. I think I just need a little bit more water. Now, if you have a pot, don't fill it all the way up because it's going to simmer for a couple of hours. And later we're going to add cabbage and the barley. So, what you do now is just stir everything together, put it on high, and start to get it to boil. Once it boils, you take your lid, cover it up. It's not boiling yet, but take your lid, cover it up, and reduce the heat so that it's not boiling, but it will be simmering. So let's check. This has been simmering now for about 2 hours. You can get away with an hour and a half. So now I will add the barley. Now this is pot barley. I like pot barley better than pearl barley because I find it smaller and more chewier. And it doesn't plump up as much as pearl barley. I mean, you can use pearl barley if you'd like, but I prefer pot barley. So I'm going to rinse them, and I find this little strainer so much easier than a big colander or a big strainer. And this little thing holds about half a cup. So I'm adding a total of 1 cup of pot barley to my soup. I'm just giving that a good rinse. And bring it over to my soup and add it in. And then I'll do it for the next half cup. I just want to show you how I rinse it. I find it a lot easier with this little baby of a strainer. So just tap it there, get all the water out so I don't splash water all over the place. So there, we'll just add that in. And then give it a good stir and bring it up to a boil again. Now the cabbage, I'm not going to add just yet because this barley takes about 30 to 40 minutes to cook. Just check it at the halfway mark, about 30 minutes, and see if you can grab a little grain of it, and if it's tender. So I will get this to a boil, put the lid on, and let that go for 30 minutes, and then I'll check. In the meantime, I've got cabbage. In total, I've got about maybe half a head of cabbage, and then this one's already cut up, but I'm going to chop up this one. What I do, these cabbage is so hard. Just cut them up like that. You know, maybe 1-inch slices. Like that. I'm getting there. I mean, I had to ask my husband to cut this part off the whole big head of green cabbage. So then I'll just turn it around and then slice it the other way, and then you have nice, pretty much cube size and bite size slices or pieces of the green cabbage to add when the pot barley becomes done. So this cabbage has been simmering for about 10 minutes, and I tasted the broth if it had enough salt, and it needed just a little bit more salt, so I added a little bit more salt. So now, turn it off and serve this bowl of deliciousness. I mean, the flavor of that Sremska sausage just flavors the water. I mean, I could just drink the broth itself. It's so tasty. And there you go. I hope you make it soon and you like it too. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.